Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I want to do a video about, in my opinion, 3 underrated authors that we don't hear much about. And one of these authors, I don't hear anybody talking about him. I've watched tons of videos. I don't know. I'm going to tell you my theory of why I think a lot of these folks aren't talked about. And this is just my opinion. So I'm going to start right away because I've got 3. First one, Daniel Hirst. And I know I've mentioned these people. Daniel Hirst is from the UK. He writes thrillers/mysteries. His books are engaging, interesting. I'm waiting for the next book for his to come out. I hope he writes some, but I've liked every single one of his books, and they're really interesting. And he writes thrillers. They have a good twist, but this is what I've noticed, and I'm going to mention to you guys all of these, okay? And then I'm going to give you my theory. The next one is Nita Prose. She's written 3 books. I don't really hear it. Maybe it's because she's only written 3 books and they all go together. She's the one that wrote The Maid. And I've read 3 of her books so far. Her 4th one, I think, is coming. The 4th one's coming out. I'm about to read it right now. Actually, let me tell you the name of it. I don't know if any of you know who Nita Prose is, but I haven't started opening this book up. I usually have like 5 books going on at once. But this book is called The Maid's Secret, okay? I read a Christmas book by her and one called The Maid. I actually really like her a lot. And she is originally from Canada. And I'm going to talk a little more about her on another video. Then the 3rd one is Sally Hepsworth. And I've read all of her books that I know of. The Mother-in-Law, which was a really good book. Darling Girls, and The Soulmate, okay? Now, one of the things I've noticed, because I've read a lot of different authors, and you guys know one of my favorite authors is Frida McFadden, and I love how she writes so many books, but one of the things I've noticed is a lot of the authors that everybody talks about, and they're good, there's some really good books in there. A lot of the books they have, all sorts of like shocking things, shocking twists, things like that. They're a book that a lot of times they either have violence or swearing or other physical, that kind of thing, and a lot of swearing. Maybe it can be kind of graphic sometimes. I would say some shocking things, that kind of thing. And so it gets out there. I mean, you guys have heard people say, what sells. Remember years ago, things were more family friendly. Well, Daniel Hirst, for example, and I'll use him. When he writes books, I remember in one of his books, he doesn't go into detail, he talked about it, and I know I've mentioned this on another video, he said they were in a state of undress. Now, that is a classy way to say it. He didn't go into any detail. I don't remember him having a bunch of bad language or anything, but the story was really, really good. Nita Prose, for example, wrote The Maid. One of the things, and I'm going to mention this in my video coming out tomorrow when I talk about one of my favorite authors, is she does what I call a cozy mystery, what I call a feel-good mystery, okay? So there's no twists and turns, shocking endings, or anything like that. And so a lot of times when people I think are underrated, it's because their books aren't like, oh my gosh, what a, twist and turn, I didn't see that coming, and things that just are exciting and things like that. Now, I do think, Daniel Hirst, I do think his books are pretty exciting myself. And then Sally Hepsworth, she wrote Darling Girls, Soulmate, Mother-in-Law. She's written other books too, but I just gave you a few of them. Hers are mystery/thriller also, and there are some twists and turns and things like that in hers, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about her or see all her books promoted. Now, maybe because they don't write as many books. If you write a lot of books, you get promoted quite a bit. So if you are somebody that writes 4 books a year, obviously you're going to be talked about. And so that might be part of it too. But I noticed that if you write more something that's a gentle read, something that's not as shocking, you're not as talked about. But I think some of these underrated authors should be talked about. And I'm going to end the video with saying this. Come back tomorrow because I do want to tell you a little bit about Nita Prose. It's favorite author day tomorrow, and I do want to tell you a little bit about that. I've got some really good videos coming out this week, and I'm going to start also reviewing If I watch a series or a show, I'm going to start doing a little review on that as well. So I've got some interesting videos coming out next week too. I hope that y'all are doing okay. Let me know what you're reading, and thank you for your support. Love you, everybody.